When we last left off, our group of pickpockets, liars, rabble-rousers found themselves contracted by a mysterious benefactor to attend a party put on by Slevin Casterna, the most recent head of a long-running manufacturing business and mining company, and to break into his vaults to steal two specific items: a very odd-looking book and a long black crate, the contents of which are still a mystery. And through a night of swindling, dancing, and deception, you all managed to find exactly what you were looking for, alongside some small trinkets and goodies as well. However, in the process, you all uncovered a plot by the host of the night and several specific guests that left the night ended in disaster, horror, and bloodshed. Though you were all able to escape, it appears as time itself is against you, as in the blink of an eye, you found yourselves back in your carriage at the beginning of the night. Any attempts to turn around were met with a similar looping result. So, as rain pours on the roof of your carriage on this cold spring night, what would you all like to discuss?
What was that?
Why are we back?
What just happened?
It would seem time has reversed itself and we're back where we were.
Was it a dream?
I don't think so. Can I make a Arcana check or something to see if this is like a magical time loop or if there's a way out of it or what the fuck's going on?
Make me a Arcana check.
Could I make one as well or no?
Sure, make me separate checks.
Or yeah, I guess I'm not actually proficient in Arcana.
Oh,
Wrong
never
character.
mind. Mine doesn't matter. I'm proficient
But-
in it, and I got a
Yeah.
nat one.
Not me mixing up all like
Uh,
25 of my characters.
Yeah, 14.
14. Okay, Winnie?
Oh, I got a 5. Yeah, I got a nat one. Don't worry about me. I know.
Winnie, you are too struck by the fact that that actually just happened, and less by the, like, question of how it happened.
I'm too pretty for this.
Sarah Lynn, you're no chronomancer. You don't really know a whole lot about time. Time loops are a little bit out of your pay grade. You don't really know what could have caused it, or what the hell is happening. So there's that.
So, I guess the question then is, do we think... Did this spell work, or is it because we escaped that things fucked up?
I don't know if they might have finished the ritual. I don't know. We left, and then we came back, and then we tried to leave again, and then we're back again. So whatever is going on in there probably has to be either stopped or reversed. Or, I don't know.
Possible that it's some sort of arcane failsafe, and the latent spell may be somewhere within the house to prevent any loose ends from escaping.
So we just go back and we kill the person that's in charge of it then, right?
But why
Easier
would we
said than
remember?
done.
Like, does everyone else remember, or is it just us? And why would we
Would
be
it
the
be-
ones to remember?
Is it the arcane seal on the vault? Could that have caused it?
Impossible to say for certain, but perhaps a thorough sweep of the house may yield more conclusive results.
At least I get my ring back.
Yeah.
And now we know who to look out for.
So,
Do we though?
Well, we do know you guys were in that weird meeting with the head of the house. He's obviously probably behind it.
I don't think so. I think it was the other person. He
just
might
know
be
I
under
was just hanging
contract
around
the
with
same
a
way.
Torrent man named Lord 711.
Yes.
Well, we know where the vault is.
True.
I mean, but
I
do we
mean-
think we can take the treasure and just leave, or are we gonna end up back
We-
again?
We can try. We could go. I mean, we know right where it's at now, right? Like we can just go in, get out. We don't have to wait around. We don't have to do anything else. We can just go in, get it, get out.
And if it ends up that we find ourselves back in this carriage,
Then we try again, and we do something different. And I guess then we figure out what else needs to be done.
Hmm.
Or
I
it's
mean,
possible.
I agree, though, that a fine sweep of the house wouldn't do us much harm.
Yeah, like we could have one or two of us go directly to the vault, and the other two comb the house.
True.
All right. So, the carriage continues on the bumpy cobblestone path before eventually the forest around you begins to slowly fade away, the tree line becoming more and more sparse as the manor slowly graces your vision once more. The same small row of carriages sits at the front of the entrance, and the same kind of like awning in front of the entrance is lined with staff members greeting people or giving people welcome goodbyes as they leave or come or what have you. And eventually you will find yourselves back in the main entrance of the establishment. Same older gnomish woman and the younger human man sitting at the kind of like plainly dressed table, just kind of like, and can I have the name on your invitation, please?
I will hand her my invitation.
All right. She takes it. She quickly marks some stuff off.
I-
You will-
Can I cast invisibility on myself before we get there?
Sure.
Before we're within eyesight of her.
Of course.
Are we in like a covered wagon, or is it an open one?
Oh, definitely covered.
Oh yeah. So then basically when we, I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself when they would come in to check us.
All right. Sarah Lynn, you disappear from the group. Anyone else doing anything else?
I'm gonna do like I did last time and do like the my brain died. Sorry. Minor illusion on my immovable rod, so it looks like
Gotcha.
a fan.
You're all let through pretty quickly. Sarah Lynn, you're obviously invisible, so you make your way through basically without a second thought. And I need everyone to make me a quick perception check. If you'd be so kind.
14.
9.
27.
All right. Miko?
So 9.
Okay. So Winnie, Miko, you guys, you see nothing. At least nothing new. Prince Thespin. You and Sarah Lynn are both kind of keeping an eye out around the crowd. And you look up to the balcony to the second floor, and you see the host of the evening, just like slowly like rolling his fingers across the banister as he looks down, just like with a very painted smile on his face, and just nods at people as they kind of like call up to him, or as people kind of like try to make conversation with him. He definitely wasn't there last time. You definitely remember that. He was not in that position last time. He was somewhere deeper within the house.
I see. Very well then.
Is there a way for me to climb up there by chance? Or...
There's a set of stairs.
I'm gonna. Who's next to me between us?
You're invisible. It could be anyone.
So I'm gonna whisper to one of them. Whoever's closest to me, I'm just gonna whisper to him and go, "Hey, I'm gonna go check out what's going on in his room, and I'm just gonna head upstairs and head to his office."
All right. In his office, there's already a few people here. All people that you recognize from, I guess, the night prior, the loop prior, however you want to phrase it, as the people who stayed back with him after like the big meeting. It was the woman who kind of like gave the grandiose speech. There was an elvish figure, about 5'10"-ish, with this impeccable posture and grace. There is the elven queen that danced with Thespin, and then there is shorter human woman wearing this kind of like black leather long coat with this tri-pointed hat and this blood red vest. With this kind of like puffy white shirt underneath as well. They're all just kind of like making very menial, very quiet conversation to each other as they seemingly wait for the host, Slevin, to get back.
Is the one woman here?
Which one?
The one that had all of the, basically the one that was they were signing the contracts and stuff with, and.
Yes, that'd be the slender woman, wearing a purple and red double-slitted dress of a race can't really determine. You didn't really catch her name, but she is indeed there, yes.
Okay. Just gonna wait and listen for a moment.
Right. A few moments pass, and it's very just menial conversation before Slevin returns, along with... Give me 1 second, my apologies. I'm slowly trying to find this description. Along with another woman, a slender, deathly pale, paper-thin-skinned high elf woman, wearing a dapper coat with sharply pointed chin and dark eyes, whose arms are covered in intricate wristwatches, with this receding blonde hair and this ornate hourglass strapped to the small of her back. Her mask is a simple black piece of lace fabric with small, pale, yellowish gems kind of implanted around the eye holes in the edges of the mask. And these two, her and Slevin, return to the room, and as soon as the door closes, he just like takes a deep breath in and takes a deep breath out, and like you see his posture kind of like break a little bit and his shoulders slump, and he goes, "All right, well, clearly we've had a little bit of an issue. Fear not, I've put our best and brightest that we have available tonight on the case. I've put some people on the vault to make sure that if anything does happen, we'll be alerted to it. And thanks to Lady Lauren Hale here, we have another chance at getting the night correct." There's just a little bit of buzz from around the room before the woman who gave the speech from the night prior kind of like pipes up. "And you're sure that you'll be able to find the people responsible?" And Slevin just nods and goes, "Yes, I'll make sure that there are no mistakes like last time. You have my word, madam." They nod. And for the next like 5-ish, 10-ish minutes, it's a lot of kind of conjecture on who it could be. People that they know, people that they didn't really recognize that kind of like stood out to them. Thespin actually does come up in conversation. He's like painted as not like the most likely suspect, but just a notable figure to keep an eye out on. Speaking of which, everyone else downstairs, well, Sarah Lynn is doing her espionage. What is everyone else doing?
I want to make my way back towards the library.
All right. So library for Winnie. Miko?
I want to find that woman again.
All
Give me
right.
a minute.
Gotcha. And Thespin.
I suppose I will make my way across the house, trying to detect the magic of the estate and see if hopefully I can find the source of whatever turned back time.
All right. Miko. Let's start with Miko first, because Miko is on my direct left, according to what OBS says. So it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to track. Miko, go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
18.
18. You do indeed find Leviana. She is on the balconies looking above the ballroom, and she's actually kind of arm in arm with her husband at the moment in time. Just kind of like laughing a little bit, clearly a little bit tense, but still trying to have a good time.
I'm gonna keep an eye on them. I'm gonna wait till, if the time is right, to approach her when her husband leaves.
Wait like 2 or 3 minutes before eventually he does break off to go talk with some people, and she is left kind of to her own devices. She grabs like a champagne glass from one of the staff members, and she just kind of like leans on the banister, just like looking down at all the people, kind of talking and dancing and having a good time.
I'm just gonna do like a slow like wander over, kind of give her like a nod. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you enjoying the party?
It's nice, a little bit too posh for my liking, but hey, it is what it is.
Are you here with anyone?
Yeah, actually, she kind of like turns over. My husband, right over there.
Is he cheating? Is he doing things? Not in person, not in game. In game.
In game, no, he's talking with a couple of guys, just kind of like sharing a laugh and some conversation.
Oh, very nice. I'm surprised you guys aren't dancing. Enjoying it more.
Well, I'm not exactly the dancing type, but I'm enjoying myself. It's been a lovely night so far.
Well, I'm glad.
Are you here with anyone?
No, but got invited. Decided to come, see what the hubbub was about. Not really my scene either.
Alright, well, I guess we're just 2 fishes out of water then.
It seems so.
I'm Leviana. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you as well.
Kind of like daintily holds out a hand.
I'm gonna kiss her knuckles.
Alright. She doesn't like pull away or anything. She just kind of like lets it happen, then kind of like goes back to kind of like leaning on the banister.
I'm gonna flag down a server for some champagne.
Um.
Just gonna hang out.
Okay. Server quickly gives you a small glass, and then you and her just kind of sit against the railing until her husband comes back and collects her, and they go wandering off as Leviana gives you a little bit of a goodbye.
Is there anything that I can see that's different down on like the ballroom, like the dance floor?
Make me another perception check.
19.
19. Nothing at the moment.
Alright. I'm gonna stay up by the banister and kind of observe for a while.
As you're kind of sitting up there, across the way, or how should I word this? The balcony is kind of like this U shape around like the north and east and west side of the second floor, and on the very like southwestern edge, I guess, is how I'm trying to explain this. You see this very hefty-looking wench holding up the chandelier just above the dance floor, and standing next to that wench, kind of like not fiddling with it, but just kind of like taking some interest into it. You see a human boy, no older than maybe like 13, 14ish, wearing an outfit that is clearly just a size or two too large for him. His eyes are constantly like looking over his shoulder, shifting around the crowd, seemingly trying to take note of every detail he can, as he idly like studies this mechanical device and plays with a small pendant around his neck. You do recognize this as the child that stole the ring from last night. Didn't really catch his name.
Can he see me? Like, can I make eye contact?
You can see him, but he doesn't really seem to have noticed you just yet.
Okay. Definitely gonna keep an eye on him. And then can I see from where I am the guy that I danced with last go around?
Fellman, I believe was his name. With you said 18? Yes, you actually can. He is currently with his business partner, and they're just kind of like slowly meandering around, like making introductions, talking with different groups and such. And he does not look at all comfortable.
I want to keep my eye on both of them.
Okay.
But once the dancing starts, I'm definitely gonna go down to the floor.
Gotcha. All right. While you do that, Winnie, you want to go back to the library. All right. Are you doing anything specific? Are you searching for anything?
I want to see if I can find any like traces of magic or arcana, or see if there's like any runes scribbled about, like something. Like see if the focus is in that room.
Go ahead and make me an
Magic-wise.
Arcana check then.
10. What's the
10?
point of me having +4 in arcana? This is horrible. Like, what's the freaking point?
Last time you guys were rolling pretty damn smooth, and now I guess all the luck's just kind of drained out.
I mean,
gotta
we did
warm
start
up.
off rolling terribly last time too.
No, that is also fair. That is also fair.
The first two rolls of the campaign were ones.
Weren't they both by me?
No, both by
Mine
me.
My first roll in the campaign was also a 1.
I think mine
Jesus.
was like a 6.
Yeah. So don't
Alright.
worry, they'll get better.
As you're kind of searching around for specific runes, or really anything of note that could kind of like point you in the just vague direction of what could have possibly happened, I need you to do me a favor, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Wait, is it a dexterity saving throw?
Precisely, yes.
Where do I find that on my
Saving
sheet?
throws, top left,
Yes.
right underneath the dexterity, the physical death.
Thank you.
Yep.
15.
This is why we love Twin. 15. For 15, you feel, as you're kind of like walking around investigating, you feel yourself kind of get tripped almost by this tail attached to this kind of ruggishly handsome cerulean blue tiefling man wearing this very, very beautiful like double-breasted tailcoat, and you kind of like just are able to like catch yourself before like you fall, and he like whips around like he was gonna go catch you, but he sees like you've got it in hand, so he just, my apologies, ma'am, I didn't mean to trip you like that. Sometimes you just gotta watch the tail.
Oh, that is a-okay. I've just been looking around and admiring the architecture and the decor in this room. What about you?
The same, it's a very beautiful design.
Absolutely gorgeous. So what brings you here for this evening?
Oh, just trying to make some new acquaintances. I was invited by the host, and figured might as well, make the most of it while I can.
That is perfectly fair. I'm trying to get to know some people. My cousin invited me, but I seem to have lost him.
Oh, well, maybe I can help you find him.
Oh, that would be absolutely pleasant.
He's gonna like take your arm. Are you wearing like any bracelets or jewelry or anything?
I don't think so, no.
Hmm.
Oh, wait. Yes, I am. Hold on. I'm wearing a ring of Ram.
All right.
I am wearing a ring.
My eye is itchy, but this mask won't let me itch it. Oh my god. Do me a favor, make me a quick perception check.
18.
18. He kind of like takes your hand, and he like rests his like very gently like rests his hands over your knuckles, and he just starts like escorting you throughout the building, kind of like letting you lead, but just kind of like being with you almost.
Did he steal my ring?
I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Can I see if he stole my ring? Can I?
Yeah, you're definitely down a ring.
Can I try to pickpocket him?
Make me a sleight of hand check.
13.
You go to like check a couple of like the more obvious pockets, and he like pulls himself a little bit away from you, kind of like feeling your hands. Doesn't say anything about it, just kind of like gets a little bit defensive with his movements.
Oh, my bad. I seem to have misplaced my ring.
Oh, that's. Maybe we can find that along with your cousin.
That would be Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
I'm Creed, by the way. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Winnie.
You say that, and for a second he gives like a little bit of a weird look, before his nose just very slowly starts just bleeding very lightly.
Can I cast a spell?
What spell?
Can I do suggestion?
Sure. That'd be a saving throw, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Wisdom
A
wisdom save.
Okay.
wisdom saving throw.
No! God, fuck!
I would like my ring back, sir.
He rolled a 2, but he got a 2, so that's 4. Just like this wave, just like his posture like loosens a little bit, and he just reaches into like his back pocket, and he like just slowly puts it back in your hand.
I appreciate your honesty, sir, but I'm afraid I must find my cousin on my own now.
My
Put my ring back
apologies.
on my finger and I walk away.
As you walk away, you like seem to, like shake off the spell and just goes, damn. Last but not least, Thespin. What would you like to be doing?
I suppose I will be making my way throughout the house,
Make 'em what?
using detect magic to try to find a source of magic that may be responsible for this reversal in time.
Okay. And what's the range of detect magic again? Just for my own sake?
There's a 30-foot radius.
As you're walking around, you get a lot of illusionary magic. However, as you walk around, you also note that you constantly hear a small orchestra in the back of your head, so you kind of put two and together and kind of figure it's that. However, let me just do some research here. As you continue to walk around, you also pick up on a little bit of transmutation and the tiniest bit of necromancy. Just a tiny, smidges bit. But it's mostly illusionary magic.
Do I sweep the whole house?
You get through the ballroom, you get through the kind of like foyer, you get through the dining room, you get through the sitting room, the library. You would go probably through that back area, the greenhouse, and then there's also like a back patio as well. No one's out there, however, you do pick up on some more illusionary magic back there. You get to the second floor, and that's kind of like where the necromancy kind of like hits you. It's mostly around Slevin's office, his personal study. And as you're walking around, do me a favor, just roll me a d20.
I rolled a 10.
Rolled a 10. As you are walking around, you kind of like turn a corner and you bump into a tiefling man with slightly red, slightly purplish skin, with long slick back hair and a small black goatee. His attire is clean cut with a long purple jacket and this double-breasted vest over a black shirt that's just loose enough to show off a little bit of skin. His tail gently and slowly flicks back and forth like a candle wick, though he does a good job making sure that it doesn't get in anyone's way. His mask is this silver and copper flourish of playing cards and betting chips, extravagantly detailed as well as words. Extremely detailed. And as you bump into him, you also notice he's wearing these white gloves. And underneath the white gloves, you see just like these small divots and dents and pins. And you notice that he's wearing prosthetics. He has prosthetics for hands. And you kind of like bump into him, and he goes, my apologies, sir. Did not mean to, I was just looking for the, have you seen the host of the evening? Mr. Costa? I have been looking for him for the past 5-10 minutes and I could not find him.
Not since the beginning of the night, I'm afraid.
Well, if you do happen to interact with him, tell him that Mr. Ciro, Gregor Ciro, is looking for him.
Duly noted.
Kind of like pats your shoulder as you walk past. And other than that, you don't really pick up on anything else. Your search is kind of basic and a little bit fruitless.
Before he walks away, can I check my pockets to make sure nothing was lifted off of me?
Oh yeah, no, he didn't pickpocket you or anything. He just kind of, it was just a bump.
Very well then. Well, if there's nothing preset that caused this effect, then perhaps it was casted by a person at the time. That's just unfortunate. I suppose I would start moving down towards the vault.
Alright.
Most likely through the kitchen.
Of course. You make your way into the kitchen. At this point, everyone's like hurriedly either setting food on trays or washing dishes, and no one really pays you very much mind, so you're able to just kind of like sneak through and into the storeroom underneath. You remember the location of the secret door, so you're able to push that open, and you do hear a couple of voices this time as you kind of like push that secret door open. Sounds like but please don't insist.
Can I hear what they're saying?
Yeah, it sounds like two guys just kind of like having just a very like casual conversation back and forth about how, man, I'm stuck down here and all of your things going on up there. Just not really what I was expecting, right? That's fine. We're getting paid regardless. And then just kind of back and forth about kind of like wanting to be at least somewhat close to the festivities, but being stuck in this dingy, dark basement.
I see. Can I cast Disguise Self on me to make myself appear like one of the gods?
Yeah, sure.
Then I will approach these men.
As you approach, they just kind of give you a nod. Any word from upstairs?
Sullivan would like an update on anything you have seen down here. I think he's a bit, I'd hate to say paranoid, but you understand.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen really jack shit down here. It's been really, really boring, but it's what we're paid to do, so we will do as we're told.
He has additional orders for you. I'm sent here to watch over the vault while you go receive them.
The one that was kind of like complaining just goes, fuck yes, something to do. And the other one kind of like guarding with him gives him a little bit of a look before they just both give you like a kind of a nod, and they start walking to the entrance through the storeroom.
Words of the wise. If he's already occupied, best not to distract him. He's a little on edge this evening.
Of course. Do your best. And they both just kind of like fist bump each other that they get the fact that they finally get to do something as they kind of like head upstairs, leaving you alone.
I'll detect a magic again to make sure that no other spells have been added to the vault.
It seems to be the same spells as last time.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on the spell over the vault?
You sure as hell can. Give me just 1 second. Let me check the level of the spell. Yeah, no, it's quick, easy. It's gone.
Can you describe the interface of the vault?
Like how to open it, or like the interior, or
How to open it?
it's just a very simple it's like a lock, and then it is just like a spinning wheel that you spin and it slowly slides open. It's like a cartoon vault.
I see. Very well then.
Right.
I suppose I will reunite with Sarah Lynn.
Speaking of Sarah Lynn, as you sit watch over this small meeting that's been going on, the group slowly begins to disperse and break apart until it's just a couple of people left. What would you be doing?
How long has it been since I entered the office?
Probably about 15-ish minutes, not even.
Well, now that I have the information that I was looking for, is anybody near the desk or with the bag that had the plans and stuff in them?
You don't see the bag on anyone. However, Slevin and the woman who gave the speech last night are indeed next to the desk.
Okay.
Slevin kind of like slowly taking a seat in the chair behind it as they continue to make conversation.
So I know that he did something to bring the reset time. She's probably strong enough that I can't just sneak up behind her and slit her throat. So,
Maybe just a little bit.
I mean, like, I have a fairly high intelligence, but I think I would know not to, I know the limits of what I can do here. I will leave the office I'll sneak out the door with the other,
Right.
with somebody else. As they open the door, I'll sneak out. And I will head down, I'll try and find... Thespin.
Right. Sarah Lynn, as you try to find Thespin, and Winnie, as you're wandering around, and Thespin, as you're looking for Sarah Lynn, you all just so happen to kind of converge on the ballroom floor.
Alright, so... Unfortunately, it's not a magical device, per se, that was resetting time. Time has been effectively reset. All of this has been reset. But it's by, what was her name?
Lady
Sorry,
Lauren Hale was the name that you
Okay.
got.
Okay, it's by Lady Lauren Hale. Apparently she's more powerful than what we had thought, and something that we did caused her to reset all. So I don't know what exactly, but it's something. And they were trying to discuss who it could be, and Thespin, your name, came up. You are one of their number one suspects.
Did they seem that they retained their memories of
All
what
of them.
happened?
Everyone
Interesting.
that was there, it seemed did.
I see. Well, that would make sense. I was able to resist whatever sort of charming effect they had.
So I wonder. So either me stealing the signing, all the signed names and contracts, and destroying it is what did it, or us
Maybe
taking,
the case.
or us taking something of this stuff out of the vault. Is,
Or the fact that we escaped in the first place.
yeah, also possible.
It's hard to say. What I have come here to tell you is that the alarm on the vault has been disabled. We need only your skills in opening it and retrieving the items.
Okay. Well, shall we? Has,
Yes.
Did you learn anything then, Winnie?
What was that?
Did you find anything or let us know anything that we need to be aware of?
Well, there's a charlatan named Creed who will steal your rings.
Yes, there is.
Other than that, I really didn't find much in the library.
Saw the kid who stole my ring last time. Who was in the vault?
Who gave you that?
Liliana?
Laviana.
Laviana.
I mean, can you point her out?
Do I see her?
Yeah, she's actually on the ballroom floor. She's actually talking with, pardon me. She's talking with Dr. Feldman Grain, his partner, and a Goliath man standing roughly about a head, to about half a head, well above most, if not everyone else in the room, with this classic ashen skin only broken up by traditional gray tattoos that are barely stick out against his skin, with a fine long strip of hair on his head that becomes braided as it goes down his back, wearing a black vest that shows just a bit of the orange fur of a collar, and a simple set of slacks, without a doubt the most plainly dressed man in the room. Your eyes, for better or worse, are quickly drawn to the fact that he is missing an arm, his right arm, just above the elbow to be exact. And as he kind of like idly stands and chit-chats, he looks very much so like a fish out of water, like a frat boy trying to seem presentable at a wedding. But you see Laviana, her husband, Fellman, his partner, and this man all kind of like conversating.
It's weird because nothing is happening the same way it did last time.
No, it's not.
Many changes. And I can't tell if it's because certain people remember, or if that's just how time has gone this time around.
I guess there's another way we can find out. Is Creed around?
Maybe a quick perception check.
16.
16. You see him in the very back of the ballroom. He's actually looking up at the balconies above, and Miko, you would know he's looking in the same kind of general area that the child who stole your ring was, kind of like looking at the wench and everything.
I'm gonna wave at Creed.
Kind of like catches attention.
Yeah.
He seems to be pretty perceptive, even though his eyes weren't directly on you, and he just raises an eyebrow and slowly waves back.
As if he doesn't recognize you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think everyone here has their memory still. Creed would definitely recognize him.
Yeah, the
Watch out
Laviana
for him,
didn't
though. He's got
recognize
some-
me either. At least not that I perceived. That's good.
I mean, I could just take a page out of Creed's book and steal the ring for you.
No, I earned that ring.
Hey. Exactly. You've already earned it. I would just be retrieving it.
No. It's
Perhaps
it's
the
different.
only reason some people still have their memories is because they were alive when the spell was cast.
Maybe
Prove a pretty fair point.
Could be.
that, or they were part of the ones casting the spell.
Well, we weren't. We have our memories. We don't know why. Other than we were alive. We weren't in the castle either.
Additionally,
outside it.
while I appreciate each other's vested interests into the people of this party, we can't do anything if we don't achieve what we are here for in the first place.
Yeah. I say we just head to the vault, take it, and we leave, and we don't mess with whatever they're trying to do.
We get in, we get out like we were originally supposed to. And at least it's disabled now, so we can just break into it.
I fear that doing the same thing over again will not lead to different results.
I think it might. You said you
Why?
disabled the spell. Well, right.
I
It's
did
not.
so
But
last time.
yeah.
If we go
but
down now,
the
then
last
we'd
time
be...
they may have noticed something was awry because they were missing the thing. They may have noticed that I had stolen the list of names and signatures, and so they noticed something was awry.
And at least if we go to the safe now, at least we'll be there before the child and
Right.
that man.
And we're doing it earlier, so there's not going to be a scuffle.
The ball dancing hasn't even started, and the ritual started after that, so
Very well then. Just not waste any more time.
All right.
Well, shall we proceed
Yeah.
forward?
Yeah,
Lead the way.
that I'm down.
You all make your way downstairs. This time you're definitely noticed as you go through the kitchen. However, no one stops to really say anything to you or about it. They're all far too busy with their own work. And you guys all make your way to the vault. It is unguarded. It is not. There are no spells cast on the door anymore. Sarah Lynn, or whoever's trying to pick the lock, do me a favor. Roll me a sleight of hand check, and if you're proficient with thieves' tools, add your proficiency.
Okay. So was this to try to open the lock on the vault?
Yes, this is to try to pick the lock on the vault.
Because I wasn't going to. I was just going to use my shine.
Right, I forgot you had that. I am not gonna lie. It's like,
So I was like, what? I mean, I can.
I forgot Twin had thieves' tools. That's crazy. How did they get in the vault last time? Right. The magic item. I'm a great DM, guys. Trust me. I'm having a really good night tonight. Anyway,
Doing
Yes.
amazing.
I have
you
thieves tools, but I definitely used the
Chime
chime
of
of opening,
right.
and it was going to do so
instead
the
of
same
picking
way
the
again.
lock, like I originally thought you were going to do for some reason, you blow through the chime of opening, and it very quickly just opens itself with this heavy kind of like grinds against the stone a little bit, and the
How's it?
same vault scene is revealed to you guys.
Yeah, I'm not fancying rolling for something this important.
Imagine.
Especially given what the sleight of hand roll.
But the vault's open. You guys were just gonna grab the shit and go, or
Yeah, I think so, right? We're just gonna grab what we need.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna grab it.
leave.
We're gonna go.
all right.
How many of us can be invisible?
I can.
As can I.
Can we all?
I can cast it twice.
Yeah, but you can only concentrate on it once.
So when you recast it, it drops the first one.
Right.
Sorry, I just like to be
Did
the
you-
center of attention.
Could you cast it on both? On two people? Could you cast it on your at a level 4 slot or level 3 slot and get both you and Miko? But if you can hit 2 people, then all 4 of us could just be invisible. We can attempt to walk out the front door as we did before, but everyone would just be invisible together.
I can always do what I did last time and cause a little mishap in the ballroom
No, I
and
think
give a distraction.
we want to do this distraction free, just straight up.
Can I just
In,
walk out?
Uninvisible?
Uninvisible, just leave? Who's
Yeah.
gonna stop me?
Fair, they have no reason to believe. Yeah, let's just go then.
I mean, you guys can be invisible and I'll walk out by myself. And if they try to stop me, then
Yeah.
You all bamf into invisibility, except for Miko. And as you all begin to make your way out, who's carrying the shit? Just out of pure curiosity.
Definitely
So what did
Pure curiosity.
we-
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
what did we have? There was
You have a very odd-looking leather-bound book, and you have a black, like a small black chest that's maybe about 25, 28 inches by about 7.5 inches.
I would be carrying the book.
Okay, and how big is this chest? 20, like how heavy?
Like, not terribly heavy, maybe about like not even 5 pounds.
Oh,
It's extraordinarily light for how like cumbersome it seems.
I'd want to try to grab whatever, like, else was, like, whatever I could grab. in there.
Just open your bag and just shovel a bunch of gold into it.
Yeah, gold. Are those? I think I got boots last time.
Yep, you got boots. You all in all walk out, if you're the only one stealing shit, walk out with about 10,000 gold? No, wait. Like 750 gold, and a couple of like items you can pawn off.
Perfect.
And then, of course, the boots, yes.
That would leave me with the chest.
All right, wonderful.
What did the boots do again?
Let me see if I can
They
find them
were-
again.
Boots of teleportation.
No. No.
They were
Definitely.
something. I don't remember what.
I honestly
they're
don't
not
remember what they were
important,
either. I
don't worry
can't
about
find
it.
them in my notes for some reason.
I'll just say it'd be like boots of something.
Yeah, boots of something. That's perfect. I wrote them down somewhere, but I can't find my original notes, so we're
You're
here.
We'll
fine.
just
I wrote
watch
them down
back the
too, but
VOD.
I moved.
We'll
them
just-
up
We'll
and
fix it in
lost them.
post. It's fine.
Quick, somebody check the VOD from the last session.
Scrub through every minute. But anyways, you all begin to walk out. Items in tow, goodies in tow. And as you're all kind of like leaving, three of you who are invisible make it to the door. And Kayla, you're about to leave before you hear a little bit of a commotion behind you on the balcony above you. And you see... oh fuck! I keep forgetting Leviana. Mid slap on her husband's face.
No, oh, so good. She deserved. Yeah.
Everyone's staring. It's a scene. It gives you the enough time to kind of get out.
Perfect.
Alright.
You guys walk out into the cold, rainy night air, and you blink, and you are back in the entranceway with the gnomish woman kind of like hands clasped up one or the other, and this like nice thick line of like blood running from her nose. Hi, and can I have your invitation, please?
I hand her my invitation as I enter the house again.
She takes
Nico
it, she
tried very hard not to scream.
scribbles some notes, and she motions for you to get patted down. But yeah, you are back.
Wait,
We have our
right?
stuff.
We left the house and are immediately back.
Mhm.
At the start of the party.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn and walk out the door. I'm just gonna leave.
You are soaking wet now.
Can I leave? Am I out the door?
You're out the door.
I'm gonna walk to the gate. I'm gonna
You-
leave.
Everyone else, you just watch Miko just fucking leave. What are you guys doing?
Well, how about we obtain the items and then we attempt to locate the sorceress?
I think we need to look at the source of birth. Or we can wait for her in the vault.
I think it's a good idea to get the items first, and then find the sorceress. Just so that way, if we defeat whoever, we don't have to come back in to deal with whoever lets them do it.
Okay. Yeah, if that's obviously she's being alerted at some point, either when we're leaving or leaving here or the vault. I guess that's what tell us, right?
Yes. We don't know if the vault is exactly connected to the reason we are being sent backwards. It very well could be a way to make sure that no survivors escape from effectively a mass slaughter. Whatever ambitions that they may hold are far more grand than perhaps a few sultry items. And I will begin to return to the vault once more.
All right.
Quinny's going to follow him.
Yeah, Marilyn will as well.
Miko,
Yes.
you make it to the gate. You're soaking wet. You just gonna leave, man?
I'm just gonna see if I can leave.
You walk off the premises.
Interesting. So it's not the fact that we're leaving the party that's resetting it. So it's not us leaving them.
It's the
Except
item.
except
item.
it was the first time we turned the carriage around. Perhaps it is everyone that when everyone leaves.
Winnie, Sarah Lynn, and Thespin. You three make your way downstairs through the storm room once more. And whereas last time you got a couple of average Joe, kind of like run-of-the-mill guards, this time one of them has been replaced by the Black Dragonborn. Sorry. Known as Caldwell, the one that was kicking Miko's ass in the first roundabout. He is just kind of like silently sitting on a stool, just like very like slowly like packing a pipe full of some kind of tobacco, while the other guard just kind of like stands at attention, just like eyes straight, not saying a fucking word. He's nervous.
I am going to use my changeling abilities. Change into 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
sorry that is his name now.
No, it's fine. I love it.
Yes, it is.
It's so good.
And then I'm going to use disguise self to actually change so I'm wearing his clothes.
Okay.
We've been here enough times. I know what he wears.
Perhaps
All
we
right.
should still accompany you to disable the alarm.
Yes. Probably not a bad idea.
I will use disguise self to make me appear as a guard.
All right. Wonderful.
I will also use disguise self to make me appear as a guard. Do our spells reset every single time?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Just making sure. Okay.
I
will
wouldn't be
also
that cruel to you.
use-
Trust me.
I'm just making sure. I will also use disguise self to make myself look like a guard.
All right then. So, you three come strolling up, and the Black Dragonborn kind of like sits up a little bit out of his stool and like puts the pipe in a pocket and goes, "Mr. Casterna, it's a pleasure to see you. How could we help you?"
Just here to do a vault inspection. I just want to make sure that everything's still here. I trust you guys. Just want to make sure. Brought some extra guards with me so you two can check the hall. You know, can watch the entrances out front, and these two will watch the vault directly while I go in and inspect it.
Make me a deception check. At advantage because you look like Slevin and because you have guards in tow.
All right, that's at 29.
Holy shit!
Really
Caldwell,
good at lying.
very good at lying. Caldwell
This is what I've been. This is what
quickly
my
gives you a
character does
nod, and
for
he
a
just
living.
like slaps the shoulder of the other guy and goes, "You search down that way. I'll be sure to do as thorough of a sweep as possible, Mr. Casterna."
Thank you very much.
And they both kind of like split up, leaving you guys to the vault.
And
I'll,
after they disband, I will once again disable the alarm.
Oh, easy.
And I'll use my chime to open it up.
All right. Vault door screeches open, revealing the same scene as you guys are familiar with.
Can I do an Arcana check on like the room and like the two artifacts that we're getting?
Sure. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
15.
15. The room itself, you see some runes kind of like built into the backside of the vault door, which were probably the alarm spell that Thespin keeps disabling. Pardon me. And the book itself is kind of like latched shut, with this kind of like dark gem embedded in the cover. Again, words, very sorry. And the box itself, you see no hinges, you see no latches. It just seems like a completely sealed box. You see no way to really open it. But you get no
Is there
You
any
get-
writing or anything?
writing. You catch some really off vibes, but that's really just because of the whole like appearance of the items and the kind of mystery behind it, not because you really catch a lot of arcana behind them.
All right, so we grab the couple of things, pocket them, and walk
Yes.
back out, shut the vault.
All right. Vault screeches shut behind you. And when you return, Caldwell and the guard are back at their stations. Sweep has been completed, sir. Everything is as it should be.
Good, good. I appreciate you. The work you're doing, everything's as it should be in there. Keep it up. And we walk out.
Have a wonderful evening, sir.
Yeah, you as well.
So you guys leave the vault area. And what was your guys' plan again?
Well, we're gonna go confront the sorceress, right?
Is that the
Indeed.
best idea?
I mean, she's the one causing this. So what else can we do?
Well, do we know that she's for sure the one causing this?
Yes.
Additionally,
In
She
the
has-
office, Levin had specifically stated that they get a redo at this because of her, because she allowed it.
perhaps direct confrontation is not the best idea.
I agree with that statement.
Just go invisible and assassinate?
Perhaps you misunderstand. The power to control time itself is not something that any ordinary sorcerer can obtain.
Yes, that's why I'm confused as to why. Like, I was not suggesting. I was asking if that was what you intended.
No. Perhaps we should attempt to be more creative. It seems that any direct confrontation very well may lead to our untimely demise.
What'd you
Perhaps
have
it
in
should-
mind?
Well,
I'm back to me at this point, by the way, not Levin. I've dropped it.
as am I. Well, it seems that us leaving the residence with these items can give them some sort of trigger as to when the spell is enacted. Perhaps the spell is currently in effect, something that they're actively concentrating on. If we could break that concentration in some way, there may be a possibility that we could leave the premises.
I agree. I
Okay, I like where you're
we just
going
have
with
to
it.
figure out a way to break her concentration, correct?
Yes. Now, it could be achieved through harming the individual, but that may not.
As we established, we don't want a direct confrontation unless we have to.
Right. So perhaps something immensely distracting, something mentally taxing that might cause them to lose concentration.
Shall we go take a look inside the kitchen to see if we can find any healthy remedies for sleep, perhaps? Maybe slip it into their drink?
Ooh, that's an idea.
It's a party,
Is-
everybody's drinking. Who's to say if they get drunk?
Do we think I could maybe just put her to sleep?
They
Well, we don't want to
seem
be too obvious.
Yeah, they would
Maybe.
know. If it failed, they would know immediately. And there's a
additionally
chance of that
arcane
happening.
Additionally, arcane strength is usually corresponds with physical resiliency as well. So, bypassing that resiliency through some sort of drug may be possible. I think that you two should investigate the kitchen. I will attempt to locate the sorceress in question.
Let us know if we find her. And we'll go take a look at the kitchen and see if we can find some fine wine and some fine herbs.
This would put me in a bit of a compromised position, and at this point I would hand them the tome. In the case that I am unable to bring this back myself, do make sure that it reaches the the quest giver in question. And I
Yeah.
will
Winnie will take the tome.
try to locate the sorceress.
All right. You guys
do we
actually.
know? Do
And
we know
Winnie
what's
wedge the
in this
tome like
tome?
firmly in her corset.
All right. You haven't opened it yet. You don't know what either of these things are.
Winnie's going to go off to find drugs.
All right. You guys actually do exits through the storeroom in the kitchen. So make me investigation checks, Thespin. Investigation check as well, or perception, whichever one you're kind of feeling, Thespin. As you try to look for the sorceress that was described to you.
That would be a 12.
Okay. And then for our drug addicts,
Investigation check.
yes.
No.
17.
10 and 17. Winnie, you don't know a whole lot about herbs. You find some things that might be useful. But Sarah Lynn, you go looking around the storeroom and you think you might find something that might put someone to sleep after prolonged ingestion. Kind of like a melatonin effect, but
I'm
it could
not
work.
finding any hemlock or
Not down here now.
nightshade.
Sadly not. There is a garden in the back, though, and there might be more illicit things, more towards the personal quarters upstairs. However, that is for you two to kind of like plan and discuss. Thespin, darling, as you make your way back out to the ballroom, with a 12 to investigation, you find someone similar to what Sarah Lynn described. Slender, deathly pale, paper thin, high elven woman, dapper coats, sharp features, dark eyes, and the kind of hourglass that's strapped to the small of her back is like a decorative piece. You see her. She's kind of like close to the entrance to the library that leads into the ballroom, and she's just kind of like leaning against the wall, just like very slowly like scanning the crowd.
Does her eye rest upon any person in particular?
Doesn't seem like it. It just looks like she's kind of just like giving the crowd a couple of once-overs, just like keeping an eye on things, or like looking for anything that kind of like sticks out.
I see. I suppose I'll approach Mean. Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Perhaps you have seen a certain attendee tonight. I'll provide the description of the woman in question.
Of the woman, the sorceress?
Yes.
She just raises an eyebrow and looks at you. I suppose that would be me.
Ah, yes. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Prince Thespian Arionaut.
Lady Corellia Laurenhale, at your service, your majesty.
Oh, please, the honor is all mine. I am here on a diplomatic mission from my father, the good king, and was wondering if you wish to take a part within his court.
Make me a deception check.
21.
She nods. Well, I am flattered that the king has heard of, I assume, my husband's great work. I am sadly not interested.
It is such a shame. We had heard great things of your magic. It has certainly piqued our interest.
And what exactly have you heard of my magic?
Well, besides the common abilities to charm, persuade, and obfuscate, the idea of controlling time has always, well, piqued my father's interests.
Really? And is there any particular purpose? Maybe any stories that were told about me using such type of magic to tell your father that I am such a user of the arcane arts?
I'm afraid that your infamy has only been spread in rumors and murmurs, but it was enough to capture the ire of my good father. If you ask me, I think he just wishes to reclaim his youthful looks, but I believe that such skills could be put to better use.
And what use would that be, your majesty?
Well, the use that any good king should strive for a better tomorrow.
Interesting. Please enlighten me more. What would this position entail? Make me a quick
you-
perception check, please.
Roll the 4.
4. Her posture changes a little bit. She gets off the wall and she puts her fingers to her chin, and the wine glass goes a little bit lower, kind of by her side, and she seems more than intrigued.
Well, you would be provided the resources and the space to conduct whatever arcanum we may require, but you would also have a voice within his council and the ability to help us guide our actions and pursue perhaps a golden age.
Very interesting. It's around this time that... Oh, give me 1 second. It's around this time that... a shorter human woman, standing roughly about 5'4", 5'5", wearing a long black leather coat with this tri-pointed hat, blood red vest, white shirt, a simple pair of slacks, with a well-worn yet still presentable knee-high boots. She carries around her this air of a woman in charge, a woman who runs things and who is always the ringleader, even if she is a simple guest at the party. She is constantly scanning the room as she approaches, and eventually she takes Lady Cornhill by the arm and goes, "Corellia, is this fine young man bothering you?" And Corellia just shakes her head and goes, No, we're just having a small discussion. He's offering me a position, or at least his father is. Do excuse us, we have some business to discuss of our own. I will think about your father's offer and find you at the end of the night."
I eagerly await your response. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And a pleasure to make yours, Prince Thespin. And they both...
DM, is there any chance that I could inquire as to whether she is attempting to concentrate on something else during our discussion?
Make me an insight check.
I rolled a 7.
Her face is pretty emotionless, aside from some very obvious cues here or there. But no, doesn't really kind of catch your gaze. Or maybe she's just keeping it beaten down in her subconscious.
Alright.
But those two walk into the library, arm in arm. And you just feel this little chill down the back of your neck. Winnie and Sarah Lynn, what are you two doing?
Shall we head for the garden to look for something a little more potent?
Oh, we could always work with this and you cast your sleep spell and help move it along. Or we could... It doesn't hurt to look at the garden. Let's just go look at the garden and see what we can find.
Alright. You guys cross through the ballroom, and you enter into the greenhouse. And stepping through the threshold of the doorway, you're instantly greeted with the smells of greenery, flowers, freshly watered soil, as you enter into a beautifully manicured greenhouse. Flora and fauna of all kind line the walls and garden beds just off the sides of the walkways. Climbing up numerous support beams are multicolored vines, from the usual greens to more obscure colors like purples and blues. Hanging from the ceiling are snake plants, or snake-like plants, with odd bulbs, odd bulbous growths, instead of blooming leaves. And as it rains, you can see that along the walls are these small irrigation pathways, letting in small amounts of rainwater and letting them drain into different plant beds and hanging pots. In the middle of the room, there is a small sitting area with a nice big round glass table that is covered with some more beautiful arrangements from around the room, along with one plant that looks odd, to say the least. It's an odd, twisting plant with an almost barky-like texture along the stems. And where flowers should be blooming, there are these odd, yellow-petaled things that are slowly oozing this fluorescent orange substance into a small dish underneath. And along the glass walls leading outside, you see a doorway leading out onto a kind of like a dry back patio area, an awning keeping it surprisingly dry.
Do I know what kind of plant it is?
Make me a nature check.
Can I also do a nature check?
Of course.
I don't know shit.
11. I'm rolling such mediocre numbers.
Tess, you've never
Is
seen this
that
plant. It's a weird looking plant. You've never seen anything
11's
like it.
Better than my natural 1.
Twin, you're not even sure that's a plant. It doesn't even look real. But a couple of quick kind of like investigations around the greenhouse. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. You do find some more herbs that would be better for putting people to sleep. Far more effective and far faster acting.
Don't take a couple of those.
All right. You grab a couple of samples, and you now have an inventory enough to put one person to sleep through non-magical means.
Any kind of specifically look for like belladonna or hemlock or anything of that nature? Anything that I would recognize as deadly and not just put the person to sleep?
Make me a quick perception or investigation check.
30-20.
Dirty 20. You find like a couple of sprigs of hemlock like locked away in a small glass display case.
But we can put her to sleep, or we can use these and just kill her.
I'm really not in the mood for killing.
But it's fun.
You do as you please. I'm gonna go find some ale.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go mix the drugs.
I'll go with her, but I will keep the I'll snag them.
All right.
I'll have them with me, but
You open up this display case and you pull out a few samples. And as you guys are walking back to the where would you say you're going again? The kitchen, the
Go find some booze.
go find some booze. You
Yeah.
go find some booze and you
Probably
bump
the kitchen.
into Thespin.
So, what did you find? Did you find her?
I was able to occupy her interests. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to ascertain whether she was concentrating or not on some sort of spell.
Well, then our best bet is to
we got two up.
try to drug her.
We got something that's strong enough we can put her to sleep, or we got something that's strong enough to really put her to sleep.
Put in as much as you can.
We combine them.
Everyone expects.
Mix your drugs, kids. Always mix substances.
With alcohol, especially.
Especially with alcohol.
What kind of alcohol did we find?
There is a couple of kegs of ale, but it's mostly like wine and champagne, like finer drinks that are being like passed around.
We're gonna find a nice glass of fine wine and mix it in with that.
And then I could just disguise myself as a waitress, and when I get to her, ask her if she would like a drink.
Alright.
If that
Now,
Well, we could do that, or I have a better idea. Let's find a waiter or waitress, and I can just tell them to go serve it to her, and we go walk out to the door.
before we walk out, there's a chance that this drug might not take. Should we come up with a failsafe if that is the case?
Why don't we
kind of why I would
You-
like to see, would like to
either
do
you
it.
could disguise self, and you can also try casting
Uh-huh.
sleep on her as well.
I'll say, how about this? You two wait by the door. I'll disguise myself as a waitress, and I will bring her. Then I will serve the wine to her specifically. And if it's not working, then I can attempt sleep as well. And then I'm there, and you guys are out of harm's way.
And if your sleep spell doesn't work?
Then I don't think we're getting out any. And you guys will be able to at least get out and reset and try again.
Very well then.
Alright.
That's our best bet.
So,
So be it.
Thespin and Winnie, what are you two doing?
Suppose we are waiting by the door.
And then Sarah Lynn?
I'm going to disguise self, use my changeling form and my disguise self both
Okay.
to make myself into one of the waitresses and go to where Thespin said that they were headed as with the mixed drink with both
Alright.
the deadly poison, the sleepy poison, and the alcohol.
The poison, the sleepy poison, and the alcohol.
The poison,
You-
the poison.
The poison, the sleepy sleep, and the drinky drink.
Yeah.
You head into the library and you see Lady Cornhale. You see the kind of like black leather coat wearing a woman who grabbed her from Thespin. And you see actually the host of the night, Slevin, all kind of like, as you're kind of like far away, not really hearing the conversation, it just looks like they're making just very casual, just conversation about the collection that Slevin's created of literature. And as you get closer and as you can start hearing the conversation, you hear Lady Lauren Hale go, "Yes, Prince Thespin. He appears to understand of my magical abilities, so I feel as though if it is anyone, we must be sure or certain that we keep a close eye on him and any guests that he brought along with him." And Slevin just kind of nods and gives like a fake chuckle to try to make it seem like she just said something funny. Goes, "Oh, we'll make sure that he is watched, and if anything happens with him, I will make sure that Vemarcord will deal with him accordingly. After all, 151,000 people die every day. That's another person on the pile, right?" And the shorter woman kind of pipes in, "Or 250 more, I guess." And it's around now that you kind of like approach with the wine glass.
Can I interest you in a drink at all, my lady?
Her and the shorter woman both kind of like look at you and kind of like gesture to Lady Cornhale, and she looks at her glass and sees that it's mostly empty and exchanges it with yours. Goes, "Thank you very much."
And I will start walking away.
As you do, you kind of like
This
look over your
doesn't-
shoulder, and you see her just take a very small sip, and there's just like a look of just like, ugh. A little bit of, not disgust, but just like, oh, that's a really rough year, I guess. Something's not quite right about that.
And I'll wait, like around the corner, I guess.
Here's
Is any commotion?
here's the thing about elves. Elves can't be
Oh.
put to sleep.
She's an elf, yeah.
Yes, Lady Corellia Lornhill is a high elf,
But she can be
Oh.
killed.
but she can be poisoned. So Twin, I want you to do me a favor. I'm gonna take a page out of Brian's book here. I want you to roll me a. Are you proficient with poisons at all?
Actually, I am.
You are. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to roll me a D100.
D100.
Yes.
That's a D20. A D100 is not even an option.
It is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
In our home game, me and Brian have this thing going where whenever his character makes a poison, you also roll for potency. And whereas he normally has a table for it, I'm just going to have you roll a D100. 100 being the most potent poison you can make on hand, 0 being it's basically worthless.
Okay. What about a 42 being the answer to the universe?
It is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It takes a minute or two before you see her kind of like her posture starting to fail a little bit, and she's like trying to like fix her shoulders, and there's just like this weird look on her face before she like slowly starts like holding her stomach, and she puts the glass down. She goes, "Excuse me, I have to be right back. My apologies." And she quickly makes her way upstairs, like trying to be like as nonchalant about it, but clearly something just kicked in.
I'm gonna go invisible
Okay.
and follow her.
All right. You see her go up 2 flights of stairs into the 3rd floor, where all the kind of guest rooms and Slevin's actual office and his bedroom is. And she quickly makes her way to one of the guest rooms, which is very clearly occupied by someone, probably her. And she goes to the bathroom and she just upchucks. It is gross.
Okay. Seeing that she's actually getting sick, I'm gonna run
Yes.
back to the lobby and I'm gonna meet the other two and say, "Hey, she's indisposed at the moment."
But
Let them know she is extremely sick.
should this be our chance to pounce, or
Oh, it's up to you. I mean, she's still a powerful sorcerer.
she is in a weakened state right now?
We can either go and try and attack, or in which case I should have done so then, or we can try to leave.
Well, didn't our handler basically say that we should try not to handle this with force?
They mentioned
Yes,
that
I doubt.
death isn't preferable, but if you can get away with it, sure.
He's not opposed to us. He doesn't want us to make a scene.
Exactly. Just like, so long as it's not someone very high ranking or like very notable, and so long as it isn't someone who will be missed the next day. So like staff members are fine, or maybe like a random noble who came alone,
But
mayhaps.
we probably shouldn't kill Slevin.
Yeah, that's what he was getting at. Only Slevin can't die.
But I imagine that it's not going to last for long because it's only the poison. It's not the sleeping draught, being she's an elf.
Right.
Which 2 of us 3 are also elves. We should have realized that.
That seemed to have been a key piece of information. So maybe we should see if it works. We can get into the
Yes,
vault fairly
but
easily. And
yes, but they're resistant to magical sleep, not
Yes.
physical. So the tincture should have no relation to that.
Well, so shall we walk out the door, or shall we? We got to decide quickly. Oh, by the way, they absolutely know it's you now, husband.
Yes, well, it was
I don't
a
know what
matter
you
of
said,
time.
but
It was a matter of time before they figured that out.
yeah.
Well, the next option is we try to take a look at this book.
I don't think we have time for that. We should have done that before we
Well, then we
laced
shall
the drink.
leave.
Take a
Alright.
look. It's in a book. The Reading Rainbow. The
Alright,
This is
Magic
we,
actually a good point, DM. The resistance to sleep is purely magical.
It is purely magical. However, she didn't get put to sleep through the drug.
So must have just resisted it naturally.
That, or there could be something else at play going on with her specifically.
Very well then.
You guys walk out the front door and then take a few steps out into the rain. It's all clear for a couple of seconds. And you guys start. Guys gonna hail your carriage. Just gonna walk through the rain through the night. Get some
hail the
hypothermia.
carriage.
All right.
Hail the carriage.
Carriage driver pulls the carriage around. Well, you guys are only in there for like half an hour, maybe. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed the party then. You all climb into the carriage, and you start making your way through the front gates. This entire time, I just want to mention that Miko has just been like trudging.
Doing it. I'm
See
going.
Miko?
Do we pass them by as we leave these gates?
It takes you like maybe like 20 minutes of a carriage ride before you just slowly like pass this like sopping wet tiefling man in what was once like some really nice clothes, just like clearly a little bit cold.
Well, we would obviously allow them in.
I'm gonna get in. I'm not gonna look or talk to anyone.
Oh, well, you look ratchet.
We could
I don't
probably
wanna
take a
think
look at
about
the
it.
book while we're riding in the carriage.
May
I
I
just wanted
please
to-
have the book?
So Winnie, you reach into the corset for the book, and you know, it's raining tonight. Rain pours on the roof of your carriage on this cold
I fucking hate
spring night on the continent of Estill.
When did you pick me up?
I cast fireball in the middle of the carriage. I don't have fireball, but I do it anyway.
Do not.
I don't even have access to it, okay? But I do it anyway.
I left.
And that is a beautiful place for us to end things for the night. Oh my god.